My mother was the Queen for a very long time, and although you kind of know that this might happen, you don't really think about it very much.
This situation is indeed dire, and the consequences of inaction are unimaginable.
In the royal family, every move carries immense weight. But what happens when loyalty collides with tradition? Princess Anne's decision to block Queen Camilla's son from a high-profile event wasn't merely about protocol. It laid bare decades of tension, shifting allegiances, and the delicate balance of power within the monarchy. Was this a stand for tradition, a response to personal grievances, or something far more complex? And what does it mean for the future of the royal family? The answers may surprise you. When Anne says no, royal events often dazzle with their elegance and grandeur, a parade of glittering tiaras, polished smiles, and carefully orchestrated unity. But behind the scenes, where the cameras can't reach, the dynamics of one of the world's most famous families are anything but picture perfect. And every so often, those private tensions spill into public view, captivating the world. This time, the spotlight has fallen on Princess Anne, unexpectedly at the center of a royal rift that has everyone talking. Anne, famously pragmatic and fiercely devoted to her royal duties, is no stranger to making tough decisions. But her latest move, one that reportedly left Queen Camilla stunned, has set off a flurry of speculation about the monarchy's inner workings and its future. The drama unfolded against the backdrop of what should have been a flawless charity event at Windsor Castle, a grand occasion meant to showcase royal unity and purpose in a changing world. Instead, it became the stage for a family clash that no one saw coming. Reports from inside the palace revealed that Anne had taken a bold stand, objecting to the attendance of Camilla's eldest son, Tom Parker Bowles. For a figure as steadfast as Anne, who has always prioritized duty and tradition above personal sentiment, this was more than just a casual decision. It was a statement. But why? Why would Anne, who is so often the rock of royal stability, take such a decisive stance against Tom's inclusion? You know, Tom Parker Bowles is, in many ways, an unconventional figure in royal circles. As Queen Camilla's eldest son from her first marriage, he has carved out a life of his own as a celebrated food critic and author.
Tom Parker Bowles, the son of Queen Camilla. He's out with a new cookbook. It's called Cooking and the Crown.
Yet his proximity to the crown has frequently placed him under public scrutiny, raising the perennial question, where does he fit within this storied institution? This very question lies at the heart of Anne's reservations, as his unorthodox presence challenges the carefully preserved traditions she holds dear. The thing is that Tom's lively, outgoing personality is a breath of fresh air in social circles. But in Anne's eyes, it may clash with the solemnity expected at royal occasions. She's someone who carefully curates her public image to embody dignity and decorum. And having Tom, a man whose charm lies in his relaxed authenticity, present at a high-profile event, could risk becoming a distraction.
I think that's a remarkable skill, to know what the true values are and to stick with those, not worry too much about the thing come and go.
But there's another layer to this story, one that speaks to the delicate balance the royals must maintain. Camilla's family, while an integral part of her personal life, sits firmly outside the formal structure of the monarchy. By opposing Tom's inclusion, Anne may have been trying to draw a clear line, a way of signaling that the institution's traditions and official duties should remain undiluted by personal relationships. And yet, this decision wasn't without its costs. For Camilla, the exclusion of her son wasn't just a matter of logistics, it was deeply personal. Insiders say she was shocked and hurt by Anne's stance, interpreting it as a rejection of her efforts to integrate her family into royal life. Camilla has come a long way, transitioning from public skepticism to widespread acceptance as queen. But this moment brought into sharp focus the challenges she continues to face, not just as a royal, but as a mother. Camilla's devotion to her children has always been clear, and balancing motherhood with royal duties hasn't been easy. Sources say she was quietly disappointed by Tom's exclusion, but in true Camilla fashion, she chose pragmatism over conflict, prioritizing unity over confrontation. So was Anne's stand essential to uphold tradition, or did it push the monarchy's rigid protocol too far? One thing's for sure, it carries a complexity that's easy to overlook. For those who know her, it's not just about enforcing rules or protocol, it's about something far deeper: loyalty. Loyalty not only to her role as a senior royal, but to the very institution she has sworn to protect. To truly understand her perspective, you have to look at the forces that shaped her, a past steeped in duty, tradition, and an unwavering commitment to the crown. Anne, shaped by Queen Elizabeth's unwavering dedication to duty, embraced the belief that the monarchy's strength lies in preserving tradition through change. Even now, as the royal family faces pressures to modernize, her decisions reflect a steadfast commitment to that legacy. Yet her loyalty often highlights the growing tension between tradition and progress. You see, in royal life, even the smallest gestures spark ripples far beyond palace walls. This isn't just about one event or person, it's about the quiet, unspoken conflicts that define the monarchy's every move. But is it only that, or is there more beneath the surface? Let's dive deeper. One of the most controversial elements surrounding this debate is Camilla's coronation arrangements. By including members of her own family in key roles, Camilla has shaken up the royal playbook, a move that didn't sit well with Anne, according to insiders. Imagine dedicating your entire life to upholding a legacy, only to see changes that feel perhaps like a breach of that sacred code. It's no wonder Anne, a steadfast guardian of protocol, might take issue. And then there's the speculation. Royal expert Tom Bower didn't hold back when he suggested that Anne's stance hints at a wider discontent within the royal family. Could it be that Anne's refusal to include Tom Parker Bowles wasn't just a personal choice, but a reflection of a deeper divide? It makes you wonder, how much of this is about tradition and how much is about the human dynamics within one of the world's most famous families? It's these human moments, the subtle, unspoken tensions, that reveal the most about life behind palace walls. The nuanced relationships among senior royals, like Princess Anne and Queen Camilla, remind us that even within the grandeur of royalty, family dynamics remain strikingly familiar. But for Anne and Camilla, the stakes are much higher. Every glance, every decision, every interaction is scrutinized and dissected, turning private disagreements into public speculation. This latest chapter between Anne and Camilla is a perfect example. While Camilla may have taken the pragmatic approach, choosing to let the matter slide quietly, the deeper story is harder to ignore. The unhealed wounds between them are visible just beneath the surface, a reminder that their relationship is far more complex than appearances suggest. At its core, Anne's decision was likely never just about Tom Parker Bowles. Instead, it points to the unspoken dynamics between her and Camilla. Their relationship has always been a delicate balancing act, shaped by shared history, complex family ties, and the immense weight of their roles within the monarchy. Together, they represent the ongoing challenge of being a royal in the modern world, presenting a united front to symbolize stability for the nation, while privately navigating the labyrinth of personal relationships. But behind the polished facade lies a deeper story, one shaped by years of unresolved dynamics. The tension between Anne and Camilla likely isn't a new phenomenon. It may trace back to moments in their shared history, their differing approaches to royal duty, and perhaps even their contrasting personalities. When royals collide. If you've even casually followed royal family drama, you probably know that Camilla has been in the mix for decades. Long before she became Queen Camilla, she was part of London's elite social scene as a debutante in the swinging 60s. From glamorous polo matches to exclusive soirees, Camilla had already brushed shoulders with the royals. And in 1970, thanks to none other than Princess Anne, she crossed paths with Charles. And, well, we all know how that story unfolded, but the relationship between Camilla and Anne has always been complicated. To understand why, let's rewind and break it down. Meeting a future partner through mutual friends sounds like a fairy tale, right? Not always. Camilla Parker Bowles first met King Charles through Princess Anne, and it all started with a bit of romantic overlap. According to royal expert Penny Junor, Anne was dating Andrew Parker Bowles at the time, a man who would later become Camilla's husband. It was through Anne and Andrew's connection that Camilla and Charles were introduced, sparking what Junor describes as their little fling. And what a whirlwind it was. Their first meeting took place at a polo match in 1970, where Camilla didn't hold back her cheeky sense of humor. She famously teased Charles, saying, "My great-grandmother was the mistress of your great-great-grandfather. I feel we have something in common." That spark between them was undeniable, but the royal romance was anything but smooth. Meanwhile, Anne was still involved with Andrew Parker Bowles, a relationship that had its own set of complications. Anne and Andrew were reportedly head over heels for each other, but their romance hit a major roadblock. As a Catholic, Andrew was off-limits for Anne under the rules of the Church of England, making marriage impossible. Though their connection didn't completely fade, Andrew eventually shifted his attention to Camilla. And just like that, the tangled web of royal relationships grew even more complicated. By the time Charles returned from his Royal Navy duties, Camilla had moved on and was engaged to Andrew, leaving both Charles and Anne in an awkward position.
Andrew Parker Bowles, famously the now ex-husband of Camilla, Duchess of Cornwall, was another love interest of the young princess.
The overlapping relationships and emotional fallout planted the seeds for the tension that would later define Camilla and Anne's dynamic. So, Andrew Parker Bowles and Camilla tied the knot in a grand ceremony at the Guards Chapel in 1993, followed by a lavish reception at St. James's Palace. The guest list was a who's who of British royalty, with attendees like the Queen Mother, Princess Margaret, and yes, Princess Anne herself. Was Anne feeling a bit salty? It's hard to say, but given Andrew's quick shift from Anne to Camilla, you can't help but wonder if there was a touch of lingering tension in the air. This unease seemed to follow Camilla through the years, becoming even more pronounced when her relationship with Charles finally led to marriage in 2005. Princess Anne's feelings were no secret. Reports suggest she gave Camilla the cold shoulder, and she wasn't alone. Many royals were less than enthusiastic about the marriage, with Queen Elizabeth herself opting to skip the ceremony altogether. Body language expert Judy James even described the vibe at the post-wedding photos as downright frosty. She noted how Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip kept their distance on the steps, avoiding any warm family moments. As for Anne, true to form, she maintained her famously chilly demeanor. Yet beneath a tough exterior, Anne's own life choices had quietly paved the way for changes within the monarchy, including Camilla's eventual acceptance. When Camilla and Charles's relationship began during his marriage to Diana Spencer, it seemed unthinkable that she would one day become queen consort. But after Charles's divorce and the heartbreak of Diana's tragic death, Camilla found her way into the royal fold by marrying Charles. Without Anne's trailblazing move to divorce Mark Phillips and remarry, it's hard to imagine Camilla's path to the throne being quite as smooth. In an unexpected way, Anne's precedent indirectly gave Camilla the freedom to follow her heart. But that doesn't mean things were easy between the two women. Royal author Penny Junor revealed that Camilla was acutely aware of Anne's cold attitude, leaving her feeling intimidated for years after her marriage to Charles. The tension was palpable, rooted in their shared history and unresolved issues. Anne's tough, no-nonsense personality didn't make things any easier, and Camilla often felt uneasy in her presence. This unease, however, was only part of a larger story, one rooted in personal choices and tangled emotions that went far beyond Anne and Charles. The truth is that Camilla's initial involvement with Charles may have been less about romance and more about revenge. Yes, you heard that right. According to Penny Junor, Camilla was deeply in love with Andrew Parker Bowles, but his wandering eye, particularly his flirtation with Anne, pushed her to take matters into her own hands. Camilla's response? A tit-for-tat affair with Charles. As Junor revealed, when she met Charles, she thought, Andrew's off with Anne, so let me show him a thing or two. The drama didn't stop there. Camilla was so upset over Andrew's infidelity that she reportedly slashed his tires and left a lipstick-scrawled message on his car. Her fling with Charles, meant as a moment of defiance, ended up rewriting royal history and altering the course of the monarchy forever. And yet, despite all the tangled emotions and scandal, Andrew Parker Bowles remains a surprising constant in the lives of both Anne and Camilla. He's the godfather of Anne's daughter, Zara Phillips, while Charles is the godfather of Andrew and Camilla's son, Tom Parker Bowles. It's a web of connections that feels almost Shakespearean in its complexity. Andrew's deep ties to the royal family add another layer of awkwardness to the Anne-Camilla dynamic. As Harper's Bazaar noted, Andrew grew up close to the royals, thanks to his father's friendship with the Queen Mother. He even served as a page boy at Queen Elizabeth's coronation. With a lifetime of shared history, it's no wonder his presence casts such a long shadow over both women's lives. So where does this leave Anne and Camilla? Decades of tangled relationships and shifting roles have created a dynamic that's equal parts camaraderie and awkwardness. But with so many overlapping loyalties and connections, where does loyalty truly lie? From grudges to shared goals. Since stepping back from royal duties, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have commanded much of the royal spotlight. But in the background, King Charles has been quietly reshaping the monarchy, slimming it down and redefining roles. A move that's left many questioning how other royals fit into this evolving structure. Among those navigating this new order is Princess Anne, who reportedly hasn't been shy about voicing her thoughts, especially when it comes to Queen Camilla. In 2021, a royal insider suggested that Anne has long viewed Camilla as opportunistic, with Charles and Camilla stepping into increasingly prominent roles. Tensions allegedly flared, leaving Anne feeling sidelined. According to the insider, Anne grew frustrated by how little time she had for private conversations with her brother, often finding herself overshadowed by Camilla's presence. And what about Camilla? Sources say she hoped Anne would let go of their rocky history and move forward. But Anne wasn't quite ready to bury the hatchet. Old grudges, it seems, have a way of staying, adding yet another layer of strain to the royal family's intricate web of relationships. Despite the historical friction, some believe that the two women have found a way to coexist. Body language expert Judy James has observed signs of a mutual understanding between Anne and Camilla, at least when it comes to their shared commitment to the monarchy. While their past may never be fully resolved, their present appears focused on maintaining the stability and unity the royal family projects to the world.
What we do, we hope, contributes to the monarchy and the way in which it can convey continuity.
After Prince Philip's passing, King Charles stepped further into his role as the family's leader, drawing his wife and sister closer into the fold. Despite any tension between Princess Anne and Queen Camilla, it seems their shared responsibilities have fostered a new dynamic. Body language expert Judy James told Express that while the relationship between Anne and Camilla might have been difficult, but they've shown signs of progress. Together with other senior royals, Kate, William, Edward, and Sophie, they've reportedly formed what James described as an elite squad, working to maintain the monarchy's image and relevance. That doesn't mean all differences have been smoothed over. James noted that some emotional distance between Anne and Camilla may always remain. But in recent years, the focus has shifted from personal connection to a shared mission, preserving the stability and public perception of the royal family. It's no longer about who gets along, it's about playing for the same team. Still, it hasn't all been serious business. Anne and Camilla have shared a few lighter moments, proving that even amidst royal formality, humor can break the ice. Take Christmas Day 2019, for example. Both women attended the royal family's traditional church service in Sandringham, unknowingly wearing nearly identical, bold purple outfits. As Anne approached the church entrance, she joined Camilla, who quickly spotted their unintentional twinning moment. With a playful nudge of her elbow, Camilla pointed out their matching looks, sparking a rare laugh between the two. Body language experts highlighted the moment as a surprisingly warm exchange, especially coming from Anne, who is typically reserved in public. While relationships may have softened over time, but the echoes of tension over rank and loyalty still reverberate through royal history. The situation with Tom wasn't just a fleeting family dispute, it was a reminder of how rigidly the royal hierarchy is constructed, with every position carefully defined and fiercely protected. For Anne, this was a bold declaration of her place within the institution, a stance rooted in a lifetime of navigating royal expectations. Even though the years have smoothed some of the friction between Anne and Camilla, this moment shines a light on the intricate layers of their relationship. Sometimes, no matter how much time has passed, old wounds have a way of resurfacing, stirring the same tensions and reigniting the same struggles. So even within the grandeur of royalty, the weight of unresolved history lingers, shaping every interaction. From Princess Anne's bold stand to Queen Camilla's quiet resilience, royal decisions balance duty, loyalty, and personal ties. These moments show that behind the crown lies a monarchy shaped by emotions and history. So what's your take on Anne's move and its impact on the monarchy's future? Share your thoughts below and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more royal insights. Because in the world of royalty, every choice has a ripple effect, and the drama is never far away.